On April Fool's Day, a group of mischievous friends decided to prank their town by reviving an old legend about a monstrous creature that supposedly lurked in the nearby woods. They spread rumors of the April Beast, a fearsome creature said to emerge only on April 1st to wreak havoc and terrorize the unsuspecting. As night fell, they gathered at the edge of the forest, armed with fake claws and glowing eyes, ready to unleash their hoax upon the town. But as they ventured deeper into the shadowy woods, an eerie silence descended, and the air grew thick with anticipation. Laughter turned to unease as strange noises echoed through the darkness, and unseen eyes watched from the depths of the forest. Ignoring their growing sense of dread, they pressed on, determined to carry out their prank and cement their status as the masters of April Fool's Day mischief. But their confidence waned when they stumbled upon a clearing bathed in moonlight, where a towering figure stood silhouetted against the night sky. Frozen in terror, they watched in horror as the legendary April Beast materialized before their eyes, its massive form bristling with primal fury. With a deafening roar, the creature lunged forward, its razor-sharp claws tearing through the air with deadly precision. Panic-stricken, the friends scattered, their screams mingling with the creature's guttural growls as they fled deeper into the heart of the forest. But no matter how fast they ran or how hard they tried to escape, the relentless beast pursued them with relentless determination, its savage hunger driving it ever closer to its prey. And as the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, the last thing they heard was the blood-curdling roar of the April Beast, its triumphant howl echoing through the haunted woods as a chilling reminder of the dangers that lurk behind April Fool's Day pranks gone awry. It was April 1st. A group of thrill-seeking teenagers decided to stage a fake occult ritual in an abandoned church as a prank. Armed with candles, incense, and a dusty old book of spells they found online, they gathered in the dimly lit sanctuary, ready to spook each other with cheesy incantations. As they recited the nonsensical words with mock seriousness, a sense of unease crept over them. Ignoring their growing apprehension, they pressed on, convinced it was all just a game. But as the final words echoed off the crumbling walls, an ominous chill filled the air, and the flickering candle flames seemed to dance with malevolent intent. Nervous laughter turned to terrified screams as the ground beneath them began to shake, sending shockwaves of fear rippling through their trembling bodies. A deafening roar reverberated through the church as the ancient stone walls groaned and shifted, trapping them inside with an unseen force. Panicked, they clawed at the heavy wooden doors, but they remained sealed shut, mocking their futile attempts to escape. Desperation turned to hysteria as they realized the ritual they thought was fake had somehow unleashed a very real and very angry entity. In the flickering candlelight, they caught glimpses of shadowy figures moving in the darkness, their eyes gleaming with otherworldly malice. Frozen with terror, they watched helplessly as the spectral forms drew closer, their unearthly whispers filling the air like a sinister chorus. With nowhere to run and no hope of salvation, they huddled together in terror, their screams echoing off the walls of the cursed church. And as the first light of dawn pierced the darkness, the last thing they heard was the mocking laughter of the entity they had unwittingly summoned, its cruel voice echoing through the haunted halls as a chilling reminder of the horrors that lurk beneath the guise of April Fool's Day pranks. On April Fool's Day, a group of friends decided to pull off the ultimate prank. They concocted a plan to scare their friend Sarah, who was known for her nerves of steel. They rigged her house with fake blood, creepy noises, and eerie decorations, aiming to make her believe it was haunted. Little did they know, Sarah had a heart condition that made her susceptible to intense fear. As Sarah stepped into her dimly lit house that evening, she sensed something was amiss. Creaking floorboards and distant whispers filled the air. Ignoring her growing unease, she pressed on, convincing herself it was all part of the prank. Suddenly, the lights flickered, plunging her into darkness. Heart racing, she fumbled for her phone, only to find it dead. As Sarah groped through the darkness, a chilling wind swept through the house, extinguishing the candles one by one. Panic surged within her as she stumbled over unseen obstacles, her mind conjuring images of malevolent spirits lurking in the shadows. The air grew thick with the scent of decay, suffocating her senses. In the silence that followed, Sarah heard a faint whisper, barely audible yet unmistakably sinister. Frozen in terror, she strained to make out the words, her pulse pounding in her ears. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream pierced the silence, echoing through the house like a banshee's wail. Sarah's heart hammered against her ribs as she realized she was not alone. Desperate to escape, Sarah raced towards the front door, only to find it locked tight. Panic consumed her as she pounded on the wooden barrier, pleading for someone to let her out. But her cries went unanswered, drowned out by the malicious laughter echoing through the house. In a final act of desperation, Sarah fled upstairs, hoping to find sanctuary in her bedroom. But as she reached the top of the stairs, a ghastly figure materialized before her, its hollow eyes burning with malevolence. With a blood-curdling shriek, Sarah stumbled backward, her world spinning out of control. The next morning, Sarah's friends arrived at her house, eager to reveal the prank and share a laugh. But their joy turned to horror as they discovered Sarah's lifeless body lying at the foot of the stairs, her eyes frozen in a silent scream. Guilt and remorse washed over them as they realized their prank had gone horribly wrong, shattering lives in its wake. From that day forth, April Fool's Day held a sinister shadow over the small town, a reminder of the dangers that lurk behind seemingly harmless pranks. And as whispers of Sarah's tragic fate spread, the laughter faded, replaced by a solemn vow to never again toy with the fragile boundaries between mischief and madness. On the 1st of April, Emily's friends decided to pull off the ultimate prank by staging a fake demonic possession. They carefully planned every detail, from eerie whispers to unsettling shadows, aiming to terrify Emily for a good laugh. Little did they know their prank would spiral into a nightmare beyond their control. As Emily entered her darkened home that evening, she sensed something amiss, but dismissed it as part of the elaborate prank. However, as she wandered through the silent house, strange occurrences unfolded around her. Objects moved of their own accord, and an icy chill settled in the air, sending shivers down her spine. Ignoring the growing unease, Emily stumbled upon a scene straight out of a horror movie. Her friends surrounding her, their faces contorted in grotesque expressions, chanting in a language she didn't understand. At first, Emily laughed nervously, convinced it was all part of the elaborate prank. But as the chanting grew louder and the shadows danced with malevolent intent, Emily's laughter turned to fear. She pleaded with her friends to stop, her voice trembling with desperation, but they seemed oblivious to her terror, lost in the throes of their twisted game. Suddenly, Emily felt a searing pain tear through her chest, as if something dark and sinister had taken hold of her soul. Her vision blurred, and her limbs moved of their own accord, contorting in ways that defied logic. Panic consumed her as she realized the truth. She was not the victim of a prank, but a pawn in a sinister game of possession. With every passing moment, Emily felt herself slipping further into darkness, her mind consumed by an insatiable hunger for chaos and destruction. Her friends watched in horror as the girl they had once known vanished before their eyes, replaced by a creature of pure malevolence. As dawn broke, Emily's friends fled in terror, leaving her alone in the haunted house, her laughter echoing through the empty halls like a chilling warning to all who dared to mock the forces beyond their understanding. And as April Fool's Day came to an end, The town whispered of the girl who had unwittingly unleashed a nightmare upon herself, a cautionary tale of the dangers that lurk behind the guise of harmless pranks.